Sometimes we get so anxious when we hear about the Champions League, and we look forward to so many interesting things. Personally, I look forward to tactics simply because of the fact that these clubs are their livelihood belong to the tactics that they have to utilize to play in their matches. I had a look at Manchester City up in this one against Bayern Munich. I was a little bit disappointed simply because I'd seen the first game, and now I saw the second game, only to see that Manchester City did not probably think that it will be a difficult task. They did some ring changes. They organized their team in a manner which I felt could have been a loss for them if at all Bayern Munich had come up as strong as they are and doing it. And in truth and fact, the team that was put onto the field by Manchester City was not the team I expected, and it was very, very nearly exposed. When you're playing a game and you're looking to go into the next round, and it's a question of looking for goals and to be able to go into the next round, you're looking to put the best team on the field. So therefore, they should have had people like Walker on the right wing back and Diaz in the center, together with Janki and Axe on the back four. That would have been satisfactory. It didn't happen because apparently Walker was left out because they were using three at the back. So here was it that they were using three at the back. That's difficult. You're now talking about Bayern Munich. It's not one of the starters in the Champions League. It's one of these really super players. And when you look at their team and they've got sort of Kimmich in centre field, you have Cancelo, one of the former Manchester City players. Now he's playing in the midfield as well. Up in the front with the other guys, it's Miller, and you have the other one, Grotixa. They are coming at you in order to get the step forward for the next round. Well, it was disappointing for me because in the middle, two players were selected in front of three players, which meant that they were expecting the center field to control the field. It's not going to happen when you have John Stones and the other youngster, Rodrigo. I have seen it often before. Stones is not a defender. He doesn't do it well. He didn't do it well in the World Cup. He does not do it well here. He makes mistake too close to his own goal. And I figured that that was a risk. And it was not the type of risk that you want to do with the Bayern Munich. Rodrigo is a good player and an attacking player. He moves the ball up well. He can play with the game when it's going. When the ball is lost, he doesn't know how to deal with it. He's no Fernandinho inside of there. And that was the two that had to keep a pretty strong forward line against them in this game. And it created a lot of problems for them, simply because of the fact that Bayern Munich is an experienced team. They didn't go there and say, oh, we're not going to worry about Haaland. No, they didn't. They followed him. They followed him and followed him. And he was getting a little bit desperate as well, particularly when no goals were scored. And he came up and they got a penalty, and he was so anxious to do it, he missed it. That is evidence that the pressure that put on him, that kept him away from the playing normalization, then when he got to the penalty, he said, boy, anything must do, I must do this. He missed it. That's one of the problems. The other one is, why would you want to put four in the forward line? What's going on? What is going wrong with what is playing two midfielders? Two really team players, midfield players, good, adjusted, organizing players. Bernardo, we all know about him. De Bruyne, just as well. Two magnificent players. You've got Krillin on the outside, Krilish on the outside, coming in there. He's improving. That would have been good. On the other side of it, it is Gundogan. I disagreed to that one, simply because you have four there, and because, of course, Haaland is in front of them. You have to get people to play the ball into those guys. And those guys are now being placed in there to receive the ball and to get passes. It didn't work. Rodrigo wasn't able to do it. It meant that both De Bruyne and Bernardo had to come right back to be able to build a play. Who did they play to in front? Nobody. They were struggling. Grealish alone is not good enough. Gundogan plays reasonably well, but it's not the quality that you're looking for up there. And I thought it was seriously making mistakes there. Now, I respect the fact that a coach can do it and he can see out there and he can probably understand what's going. But when he looks behind, he looks and he realizes that the strength of Ruben Diaz is great. A Janky is also very good. Injury to Axe brought a little bit of a problem. They brought Laporte in. Still against us, Cancelo and Sané, two players who 2 years ago who playing for Manchester City. So it was a tight act. And at this point in time, a win was not comfortable in the mind, simply because of the fact that they may have to come up and play a stronger team and can't do what they just did. They cannot do it. They're not going to be able to do it. They're going to have to use those players, those midfielders, De Bruyne and Bernardo inside there, and a little bit of Phillips as well. He's been coming in one or twice, and he plays a good ball-winning area in there. But you need the craftiness of the midfielders. You need the good of Grealish. You need the speed of Alvin. I would say that Alvarez somewhere along the line is necessary in there to the tune of against Gundogan, because he's a forward. Remember him in the World Cup? Excellent. So therefore, we have to be looking at these things. We have not looked at it here. I was not comfortable with it. I love the club, and I was hoping that they would just be able to save it, because they did a good first round and going to the next one. The next one is not going to be easy. The next one will recognize those mistakes. You know, a guy named Modric, he's going to come in and he's going to set up trail passes coming through you with a harsh attempt of going wing past the two midfielders and coming at your defense. You must remember, if John Stones is in that defense again, I'll be worried, won't you? Because he is not really up to the capability of the others. He tries hard. His strength is if the ball is coming across the goal from a corner, he gets his head up sometimes in both ends. But that's about the size of it. Even the building of the pass from the goalkeeper back, he's not very good at it. So therefore, there's need for correction there. They have the time to think about it. They have a week and a half. And at this time, if they make a mistake like this, they will make a mistake. I don't expect they will, because I have the greatest respect for Pep Guardiola. And he does a lot of good things. Sometimes he does things that's strange, but it doesn't mean it's wrong, because he is the coach, he knows the players, and he's doing it. So let's look at it and see how we can deal with a situation like this. They have to take recognition to the fact that the players that you have onto the bench, utilize them. It is not that you just have some players and keeping them there. That's not good enough. So congratulations to them so far. They're going into the next round, and it's going to be an exciting one.